It's been a strange ride this season for the defending champs. In May, they could do no wrong and put together an amazing month with over 20 wins. And it looked like they recaptured the magic from last October. But key injuries took their toll and the Giants slipped in the standings. Now the orange and black look to rebound and head into the All-Star break with a bang. They go for a sweep against the Phillies, and it's coming up next. Day baseball here at AT&T Park. Sunday afternoon baseball as we get ready to wrap up the series and the first half of the season, Phillies and Giants. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, right now the best thing that could happen to the Giants would be a sweep. That would mean they would go into the All-Star break having won their last 3 in a row. And Mike, in that regards, it's a big ball game, and maybe the right guy is on the mound.
Well, you're right, and Chris Heston has evolved into the right guy. What a first half he has had, and he has a chance to get a 9th win here in this first half of the season. And he's also got something that he hasn't always had when he's gone out there on the mound. He's got a red-hot offense playing behind him. The Giants the last 2 days have had 38 hits. They've scored 23 runs. They are on fire, and hopefully they can roll this into a sweep.
Buster Posey at first, Susak behind the dish, Belt in left field. Chris Heston on the mound. It should be fun this afternoon. Lineups, first pitch coming up. Admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 70 degrees here at the yard. You see the winds at 10 miles per hour. Humidity at 70%. And it is a bit hazy, a little scattered, but a nice day for baseball. Take a look at the lineup that Heston will be facing. It'll be the very fast Ben Revere to lead it off. You can see what he's done since June 9th. Then it's Hernandez, Franco, and Howard. Cody Ashe is going to hit 5th. Then it's Brown, Freddie Calvis hitting 7th, Rupp 8th, and Chad Billingsley 9th.
On the hill today for the Giants will be the rookie right-hander Chris Heston, and this is what he has done in 17 starts, 8-5 with a 3.51 ERA. 82 strikeouts against 30 walks in the 105 innings. He has had an outstanding first half. You're going to see a sinker, low 90s. He will throw 4-seam fastballs with cut on him. Good changeup. It's a developing pitch, and he also has 2 types of breaking balls, a curveball and a slider.
105 first pitch. So we get started right on time. Ben Revere hitting at 294, a home run, 23 driven in, and there's that fastball for a strike. Good movement. Revere 2 for 4 on Friday, and then came in as a pinch hitter yesterday, swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
And that's the changeup that really has become a pitch that he can rely on. He's not afraid to throw it behind the count now, and it is a swing and miss pitch, especially off the fastball.
Hit up the middle and a base hit, so that one got a little too much of the plate, and Ben Revere's aboard.
Let's take a look at the Giants defense playing behind Chris Heston, starting in the outfield from left to right. It'll be Belt, Pagan, and Pence, the best arm in right field. Crawford and Duffy on the left side of the infield. Panic and Posey on the right side. And Andrew Susak, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Cesar Hernandez, Ben Revere with 21 steals. And the first pitch out of the stretch for Heston, not a good one. It's 1-0. Hernandez at 281, a home run, 19 driven in. Went 0 for 4 on Friday, and then got 1 at bat yesterday and was hitless. Same spot, so the stretch right now problematic, 2-0.
Well, he's underneath the ball, and he's got to slow things down, shorten the strike, and get his elbow up above his shoulder and stand on top of the sinker. When you start talking about mechanics prior to a pitch, you say the same things with the sinker that you do with the curveball. Be short, get that elbow up, stay on top of it.
And a strike called by home plate umpire Gabe Morales, Dana DeMuth, Tim Timmons, Todd Tishner from first to third.
And Morales, a low ball umpire. He's a good sinker ball umpire. He looks for strikes. Good umpire if you're a pitcher. Very consistent zone.
Revere goes, swinging a bouncing ball right near the bag. 1, 2. How about that? Giants catch a break, and they take advantage of it. That's if you're Pete McCann, you're thinking, seriously?
Well, I mean, this would have been a first and third situation, nobody out, but with the break of the runner, Joe Panik has to break with him. He's over there. The ball hit right to him, catches it literally with his foot on the bag, and completes the pair. Wow. If you're Pete McCann, you're thinking, what else could go wrong today? And that is our Exmo, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer.
What else could go wrong? We're 2 hitters in. Here's Franco. Franco takes a strike.
These guys, Revere and Hernandez, I mean, they have good speed. They're not a likely duo you're going to get doubled up.
0-2. Franco giving Heston an idea of how far he's going to expand.
Heston, 15 double plays, second most in the National League.
Got him. Giants are coming up. It'll be Pagan to lead things off.
Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
No score as we head to the Giants' half of the first inning. Here's Bruce Bochy's lineup. Facing Chad Billingsley, it'll be Pagan, Panic, and then Matt Duffy, who is really red hot in this series. Posey, Pence, and Belt. Crawford's going to hit 7th, Susac 8th, and then Heston 9th.
On the hill today for the Philadelphia Phillies will be the former Dodger Chad Billingsley, 8.5 years in the big leagues, all with the Dodger uniform on. Last year did not play, rehabbing a Tommy John injury. This is his 6th start of the year. His win on the year, well, it came against his former team, the Dodgers, in his last start. ERA at 6.67. When you face Billingsley, you're going to see a low 90s fastball. He will two-seam. He will four-seam. Got a good curveball slider combination. He will throw a changeup. Lifetime against the Giants, 8-6 with a 3.16 ERA.
So here's Pagan. Pagan had one of the real big hits last night. A double that knocked in a pair of runs, and he pulls the first pitch foul. So 1 for 5 last night, but 3 for 6 on Friday. So Jim Vermey's work right off the bat, our ball dude. 0-1 to Pagan, Panic on deck. And that pitch a bit wide, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Billingsley, 30 years old, built really like a catcher, 6'1", 240 pounds. Very compact delivery, short arms.
Hit out to right field, but it's right at Dominic Brown. So Pagan's retired.
Let's look at the defense that the Phillies will employ today behind Billingsley, starting in their outfield. From left to right, it'll be Ashe, Revere, and Brown. Really good arms on the corners, not a very good arm in center field. Galvis and Franco on the left side of the infield. Hernandez and Howard on the right side. Cameron Rupp, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Panic. Panic looks at a strike. Panic 1 for 4 in the game yesterday. 4 for 6 on Friday night. He takes in tight. Never faced Billingsley before, as you would expect. With Matt Duffy on deck. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike. After the game, Joe Panic will join his teammates and head to Cincinnati, and the manager and the coaching staff. Line drive right at the shortstop, Galvis, 2 outs, and the trading staff.
Well, 2 guys that have thrived against the Phillies in their young career. Matt Duffy, 13 for 27. Joe Panic, 17 for 36. Definitely guys that the Phillies will be talking about coming into a game.
So here's Duffy, and Duffy takes low.
Talked about the compact body type of Billingsley, and you can see the compact motion because of it. High elbow position, really such an easily repeated stroke.
Hit on 1 hop to Galvis, and that's going to end the inning. Quick inning for Billingsley. 2nd inning coming up.
And so far, $315,000 has been raised. That is amazing. The Giants would like to thank all of the donations received from Giants fans, sponsors, vendors, players, owners, and front office staff. They've all stepped up to the plate. Just a reminder that if you donate at the $50 stretch level, you receive a Madison Bumgarner bobblehead as a thank you gift. Go to jrgiants.org to join the efforts. Gentlemen.
All right, Amy, and this one is bounced to Posey, so Howard's retired on one pitch. Look, the stretch drive, it's going to be over today. Giants fans, we say it a lot, but they never, ever disappoint, and they're coming through once again to enable thousands and thousands of junior Giants to play baseball. It's fabulous, and it's got the right name on it, too.
Stretch drive. It's great to listen to Willie McCovey talk about the Junior Giants program. He's very passionate about it.
Here's Cody Ashe, who hit a home run into the water last night. On deck is Dominic Brown. There's a line drive to right, and it'll fall in front of Hunter Pence. This was the home run that Ashe nailed off of Vogelsong last night.
Vogelsong didn't make many mistakes, and this really wasn't a mistake location-wise, down and in. But Ashe's got a nice stroke going right now. He jumped all over. That came to a 2-strike count.
Yeah, 37 splash hits by an opponent. Brown with a swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. 68 splash hits for anyone wearing a Giants uniform. And that's a number that we just memorize. We don't need any help. It's not true. It's posted in right for every game. It's been a while, I think, since we've had one.
Well, the splashometer, they put it on the board every day. It doesn't move a whole lot during the year. It used to move a lot.
Yeah. Tapped. Foul. Susek tried to get to it as quickly as he could. Yes, when Mr. Bonds was around, it moved a lot.
Take a look at what Chris Heston will throw. 60% of the time you're going to see that sinker. And then curveballs and sliders about half the time. And now the changeup is starting to creep up a little more every time he goes out there. It used to be 2 or 3%. Now it's 12%. And I'm sure that will continue to grow. And you'll also start to see him throw more cut fastballs.
Oh, and 2 to Dominic Brown.
What you learn when you pitch up here, and especially for a starter, because you throw a lot of innings, you learn how to read swing types. And then you come up with a movement that will give that certain swing type problems. And I mean, that's the game.
0-2 to Brown. Ashe with his lead. Outside.
And you watch hitters and you watch how they take pitches in certain counts. I mean, what's that back leg doing? Is it time to a fastball in fastball counts? Is it time to an off-speed pitch in fastball counts? And these are all little things that it just takes you a lot of time to be able to recognize and then apply. That's where the education starts.
Throw down to second, and they got him. Wow. Perfect throw by Susek.
That was a bullet. One thing that Heston does a real good job of is getting rid of the ball. He's consistently under 1.25 seconds. That's all you have to do is give a catcher a chance and let them do the rest. And Susek throws an absolute P-rod to second base.
And that'll end the inning. 2 strikeouts for Heston, but to Posey to lead things off.
is brought to you by Bay Area Mini.
Well, slug your way to the Home Run Derby crown and master the free award-winning game millions are playing. Action-packed, insanely fun and play, and great American ballpark, home of the 2015 All-Star Game. Download MLB.com Home Run Derby free on the App Store and Google Play.
Here's Posey, hitting .308, 14 home runs, and the 0-1. Buster last night, 3 for 5. And he had one of my favorite hits of the year.
Well, tell us about that.
I will. 1 ball and 1 strike. He had a ground ball through the right side that stopped rolling before Francoeur could get to it. It was the best.
And it was an RBI.
It was not off of that guy.
Cole Hamels.
3-1 to Buster Posey, who's got ownage on Billingsley. How about 12 for 26 with 3 doubles? The guy on deck has got some ownage on Billingsley. Ownage is ownage.
Well, get it in fastball. He didn't want to walk a guy to lead off an inning. Challenges him right across the letter, and he burns him. Right now, it's time for our Togo's Big Play the Togo's way. We go back to June 19th, 215, and June 24th, 215, and Buster Posey hits 2 grand slams in a 5-day span. One off Mike Bolsinger of the Dodgers, the other off of Ian Kennedy of the Padres. And that's our Togo's Big Play the Togo's way.
And here's Pence. Here's the pitch to Pence, and he hits a bouncing ball to Billingsley. That's 1, and that's 2. So that's a double play. What we'll do throughout the broadcast is show you some of the big plays by the Giants from the first half of the season. You just saw 2 really big plays called big flies with 3 people on base. So here's Belt, and Belt takes one inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Gives you an idea, Billingsley feels his position pretty well.
Oh, he's athletic. One thing he's always done, he's always put himself in a good position after he throws the pitch to field his position. Go back to 2011, and Brandon Belt, a rookie, steps up, and his first big league home run came against Chad Billingsley.
Here a little pop-up to left field coming in is Ashe, and he dropped it. And Belt's going to wisely go back. Ashe had it in his glove, and it didn't stay in there, and it'll be a base hit. Ashe's trying to figure out how you get that ball in the middle of your glove called the pocket, and it doesn't stay in.
And he's watching it all the way in there, and all of a sudden it comes down and lands on his glove, and that was enough to jar the ball out of the glove.
I got it. I don't got it.
There is no, he held it long enough. I mean, that was an out. Boink. And that was a gift.
So here's Crawford. Crawford at 262. And he fouls it. First throw over by the on-deck circle. Kid with a glove. He brought his glove, sitting next to the old man. And he put it away. That a big. That's awesome.
That's the smile we're looking for.
And the ball's in 1 strike.
All right, let's take a look at the catch by this young fan right here.
Oh, it
saved my dad.
Dad was looking at a pretty girl, hit him right in the side of the head almost. It's killing me.
Dad, I just saved your life.
Just don't tell Mom. Foul into the upper deck down the third base line. That, you know what? He was not. He was looking for the beer vendor, which is cool.
Either a tank cop or a beer vendor, one of the two. All right, let's take a look at another play by a fan. Commando, no glove.
Stole it from the guy with the white hat. He's like, what are you doing? 0-2 to Crawford. Outside to Crawford, 1-2.
Not by much.
That's one of those pitches that'll make you think.
We've seen the Dodgers use that paralysis fastball a long time. They teach it. Guys who come out of their system, they all use it.
To the back foot. It's 2-2. And that pitch is high, so it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Belt's going to go. He takes off, and Crawford hits a high fly ball into center field. And Ben Revere will make the catch. 2 hits, no runs. Dad, what are you doing?
Save the old man's life.
Tank top through the. Chris Heston gets Ruben Tejada to strike out, looking for the last out of his no-hitter, and gave the Giants a no-hitter for the 4th straight season. Got him. Said he didn't know what to do.
Well, you're in uncharted territory. You never had a no-hitter in the big leagues before.
Hey, give a Buster hug, right?
When in doubt, give a Buster hug.
So if you don't know what you're doing in the middle of the field, just go hug Buster. That's it.
Exactly. Start looking for him. This is where he ranks in the rookie status: 1st in starts, 1st in wins, 1st in ERA, innings ratio, and 2nd in strikeouts. With not a lot of fanfare in spring training about even being part of the staff, let alone the rotation. And boy, has he been a shot in the arm for the Giants.
And a bullet. Speaking of Buster Posey, 1 out. Freddie Galvis lines out. Hey, it helps to throw a few atom balls at you.
It really does. If you're going to have a good day or a good year, I mean, you have to have that working. Mr. Posey catching that top spin liner. Hit it to the sweet hands guy.
Well, think about what he's done. He's played a pretty fair number of games at first, and he handles that spot extremely well.
It doesn't seem like there's a catcher playing first base.
Towards the hole and a base hit. So Cameron Rupp with a base hit. That ball shot right through the infield. Billingsley is going to be the hitter. Brewers and Dodgers underway. It's 1-1 in the second inning. Brewers playing the Dodgers pretty tough.
They're playing everybody pretty tough these last couple 3 weeks.
Billingsley with a bunt to Posey. Posey spins and throws. That's one. Crawford to first. Double play. What a throw by Buster Posey and a turn by Crawford. Very nicely done.
Area is brought to you by Momo's, a San Francisco tradition.
It's a 0-0 ball game and another double play turned. And Mike, what do you think the key to this is?
Well, it's Buster Posey's throw. I mean, very aggressive. He gets the ball and look at the footwork, anticipating the lead bag, and then Brandon Crawford, a flat-footed bullet from second base to panic at first. I mean, that's all arm, and he has enough to get Billingsley. That's just brilliance right there.
That's the big leagues. Just got through talking about Buster Posey and how he's handled that position. Susak pops it up, and it's going to be out of play.
But, you know, I mean, every position has its own footwork. And every time you go to a new position, you have to be able to learn the dance of that position, the footwork of that position. And Posey flawlessly has adapted to first base.
Yes, he has.
And that footwork on that play right there is an example of it.
Susak hitting .236, a couple of home runs, 8 driven in. Swing. You're going to miss 1 and 2.
But how about the flat-footed throw from Crawford?
Yeah.
I mean, you could see the play, and you watch it at second base, but underneath your vision at second base, you can see the runner going to first. You're thinking, all right, it's going to be close. How is he going to get rid of it in time to get the ball to first base? How is he going to do it? Well, flat foot, sidearm, slingshot, see ya. Wow.
Well, an arm like that is a gift. And, of course, you also have to get it out of your glove quickly, of which, if he's a shortstop, that means he can do that.
And he got a perfect throw, too, from Posey.
Susak out swinging. First strikeout for Billingsley. Here's Heston. Dave Fleming, he'll be in innings 4, 5, and 6. John Miller's on assignment. I'll be back here in the 7th inning. I guess that means I got to start getting ready, right?
Yeah, you forgot all about it.
I did. I forgot that my assignment was changing. Heston hits a high fly ball to right. And it's going to be Brown who makes the catch.
All right, here's our Toyota Exmo replay brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. It's our best Exmo replay of the first half. We go back to June 1st. Giants taking on the Pirates. And Pagan with a diving catch into the left center field. And his hair was perfectly captured by our Exmo. We loved every bit about that play.
Well, that was the plan.
And that's our Toyota Exmo replay.
Well, you and Dave had fun, okay?
We will.
Pagan had a fly ball to right. Here he takes high. It's a little odd that John Miller goes on assignment right before we have 4 days off. Something's fishy about this.
Yeah, something severely fishy.
By the way, we were told by bogus information that there have been no home runs this year for the Giants into the Cove.
Really?
Yep. And a base hit for Pagan. You know, Biagio Alavito, you know who that is?
No.
He's not the left fielder for the Blue Jays. He doesn't play second base for the Twins. It's BI.
No.
Yeah.
It's bogus information.
Yep. Bogus information. Biagio Alavito. There he is.
There's Biagio.
Does a really good job with our stats most of the time. It's the best we can do, BI. Sorry. Panic. Foul down the right field line. Sounds like a restaurant, doesn't it?
Or a casino in Vegas.
Yeah.
The Biagio.
Or a pit boss. Or somebody that got whacked on The Sopranos. Just in time to end this before we get in trouble is Dave Fleming's coming in. I'll see you back here in the 7th. It's 0-0.
score yet, and it gives us an opportunity to welcome our pal Dave Fleming into the booth. Welcome.
Hi, Mike. Good to be here with you for a day before our All-Star break.
This is nice.
What a day. What a weekend. We have the one place, well, maybe not the one, but where else do you want to go for the All-Star break? You're going to go on vacation from this?
This is vacation every time we get here. No doubt. Spectacular day here in the Bay. Chamber of Commerce day, and it's been this way ever since the Giants got back off the road.
Ben Revere right back to Heston, who is a good fielding pitcher.
He is a good athlete. He does a lot of things to help himself out. Holds runners on well. He gets rid of the ball quickly. He fields his position well. Works quick. Strike thrower.
And don't think those things don't add up to extra quality innings pitched, extra wins. I mean, it makes him a better pitcher.
Indeed it does. He can hit. He can bunt. And all those things add up.
Here's Cesar Hernandez. There's that slow curveball from Heston that misses.
So you're going down to your in-laws during the break. Your twin daughters and your son are already down there with Jess, your wife.
Yeah, San Diego, also not a bad spot. What a play by Panic from his knees, but too late. Panic kind of slipped there, I think, as he tried to throw from his knees. Couldn't quite get him.
I think he got the wind knocked out of him, too.
Maybe.
I mean, he really went down hard. But this is an example of the range that he has. I mean, right there, good play, and he just could not get the ball out of his glove. I mean, everything he does, he sets up. Watch how he sets up off his back right knee. He just can't get a grip. And when he finally gets a grip, he winds up throwing a circle changeup over to Buster Posey at first. And Hernandez, this just doesn't give you that much time to regroup. He's got good speed.
Yeah, that tells you the margin of error at this level with a guy that fast. That one little bobble with the grip, and that cost him. Now Franco drives one deep but foul. You better be ready to pitch to Maikel Franco, because on the first pitch he likes to swing.
He is a hacking machine. And the Phillies are way high about this guy, and you can see why they would be. I mean, he missed a lot of the early part of the season because he was in the minor leagues. But his numbers project out to 30 home runs, over 100 RBIs if you were to apply it to a 650 at-bat season, which is about the norm.
He's not a bad defensive player. At least has looked like he can handle the position so far. There goes the runner Hernandez. Franco hits a foul. Well, the Phillies are looking for pieces, right? I mean, this is a rebuilding year plus for a proud Phillies franchise, and they found one. This guy's going to be a player for them for a long time.
Well, we watched the Giants go through it in 1996. And I believe it was a 94 loss season, but they went into their minor league system and they found out exactly what they had. It was a revolving door. They were bringing guys up left and right, and they found out that they had a Bill Miller down there. They had other pieces of the puzzle. What they didn't have, they went out and got that offseason.
Bounce to first. Posey. That's one. Crawford back to Buster. Another double play. Who does that better than the Giants? They turn the double play beautifully.
22,000 boys and girls, and we're grateful for your support at any level. But if you give at $440, donors will receive a baseball autograph by both Willie McCovey and Madison Bumgarner here. And if you give $1,500, you will receive a Madison Bumgarner autograph bat. And you can still join our efforts. You can make a donation online at juniorgiants.org. And every dime that is received goes right to the kids and continues an extremely successful program for kids who are socioeconomically depressed. They need help with equipment, and this gets it to them.
So Matt Duffy leading off for the Giants here in the bottom of the fourth, a great cause. And we appreciate all those of you who have already supported the Junior Giants stretch drive.
Well, you know, balls, bats, gloves, and fields. Not enough is said about that. I mean, they rebuild fields from scratch in areas that have had old, dilapidated ballparks run down. They bring them back, or they build new ones.
Oh, 0-2 to Duffy. That slow curveball popped it up. Hernandez at second for out number one. Chad Billingsley so far has pitched well. 3 hits allowed, one of them to this guy, Posey, who hit a rocket back up the middle. His first time up. Buster hits another one back up the middle.
Sort of like that.
Kind of like that. Now he's at first. Let's check in with Amy G.
All right, Dave, good news for fans on Nori Aoki, coming along much faster than the Giants had expected. He is doing baseball activity. He's playing catch. He's actually hitting off a tee and taking some soft toss. Now, over the break, guys, he's going to stay right here in San Francisco, work out, receive treatment. He's also been running on the treadmill. The big test, his footwork, base running, side to side, front to back movement on that foot. But he is doing very well. He said he has no pain, and that's why he thinks he's coming along so quickly. Gentlemen?
All right, Amy, that is great news. Bochy told us before the game he thought from today, maybe 10 days before Aoki's back in the lineup. They're sort of thinking like Pence. No rehab games. Just throw him in there. There's a strike to Pence. It's 0-2.
Well, I mean, they're both unusual type hitters, and they have their own way of doing things.
That's one way to put it. Pence base hit into right field. Buster had to make sure he did not run into the baseball there, so he'll stop at second. 2 on, 1 out for the Giants.
And Pence continues to use right field. We watch him in batting practice the last couple of days, hitting everything to right field. Now, when they continue to pitch him away, if they make a mistake up, he just goes right with it. I mean, he's behind the count 0-2. Just this little hand action hitch. Swing stays very flat. And goes with the location, and that's the key.
Now Belt, chance to do some damage here. Fouls that first pitch fastball straight back.
Billingsley's been pretty consistent to the inside corner. He's trying to jam him with cut fastballs, 4-seam fastballs. And if he goes away, it's soft, but a lot of hard stuff on the hands.
You got Posey at second, not running 100% these days. There's a curveball that misses.
Not by much. And that's the soft stuff we're talking about. A little backdoor breaking ball.
Those are pretty good numbers with runners in scoring position. That's 2 games worth. 16 of these kind of hits as Belt takes ball 2. Changeup from Billingsley.
Well, you could just see a different team when they came back off the off day Thursday into this weekend, and then everybody had a little extra bounce in their step, and the offense has just exploded. Meanwhile, out on the Cove, life is good.
What a day to be in a kayak.
I didn't get my invitation, but sorry I missed it.
You would have been there. Maybe Bell can hit one out to those folks. Foul ball, 2-2.
Oh, nobody has hit one this year for the Giants.
Nobody. We saw Cody Ashley do it last night on the fly into the water. What did they say? That was the 105th splash home run in the history of the ballpark last night.
All hit by left-handers.
All of them. 35 of those 68 from one guy. We know who that is. Belt's had a few. 2-2. Slashes that one back toward Crawford.
Again, a well-placed fastball right in on the hands. Ran that ball right up the bat. When we first saw Billingsley, I mean, he was a mid-90s thrower, and he could always put the ball pretty much where he wanted to. He has very, very good command. Went through some arm problems. Recovering.
2-2. Just misses. He wanted it.
He wanted a curveball early in the count too. So 2 times they've gone to the outside corner with breaking balls. This is a slider. You can see the little eye on the slider, that little red dot on the spin. Just a bit outside.
Yeah, and it did miss. And now full count to Belt. He pulls this one on the ground to Howard. He'll get one there. Not in time at first. Billingsley whirled around just in case Buster had ideas. They get the force out on Pence. 1st and 3rd, 2 down.
Watch the turn as Galvis comes across the bag, just touches it with his toe, gets clear of Hunter Pence. And Brandon Belt, once he gets those big old size 15 shoes going, he can cover some ground. Beats out the back end.
Well, that's important. That gives Crawford a chance here. Brandon Crawford coming off a big game last night. 51 runs batted in for Crawford.
Great first half. And he has earned the right to go to Cincinnati and be an all-star.
He swings at that first pitch. Foul ball for strike 1. It's kind of been this way all the way through this season, but no shortstop has more runs batted in. Not Tulowitzki, not Peralta. And that's not just National League, that's everybody. Just the home run power. He's got, what, 17 doubles, triples. A lot of extra base hits for Brandon Crawford. What you were talking about with Belt, if he hits one in the gap here, Belt's got the speed to score with 2 down.
Well, he does, especially if it gets to a gap in right center, because Ben Revere, the center fielder, doesn't have much of an arm. If he gets up to it, then you're going to have a real chance to score.
1-1. Crawford hits one right back up the middle. And it'll be another run batted in for the Giants all-star. Posey scores 1-0.
The beautiful thing about an RBI guy is there comes that point in time where you get into a situation with runners in scoring position, it doesn't change you. You expect to knock that run in. And the only way you get that feeling is if you've had success in this role. And this is right back up the middle. Almost looks like he was trying to do that very thing. A mistake up, and he is just not missing up these days.
So big hit for Crawford to put the Giants ahead. Now Susac could add on with a base hit. When you combine his defense at that position, when you're a shortstop and you play the position as well as Crawford does, and you hit the way he's hitting, I mean, you're talking about one of the most valuable players in the National League right now.
No question.
Strike 1 to Susac, who struck out, the only strikeout so far for Billingsley.
You know, and I think this RBI total and this making this all-star team is finally going to bring some recognition to him, because he's been overshadowed a lot. What he has done in postseason has given people a small idea of just how good he is, but you see him day to day. I mean, he's a special player.
Billingsley's paying attention to Belt out there. Well, on this team, it can be hard to get. You got Posey, you got Bumgarner, you had Pablo here with the nickname and the hats and all that. And, you know, this team's been full of stars these last few years. But in terms of value to the Giants, Brandon Crawford's right there with anybody. Let's see if Susac can take a 2-strike approach here against Billingsley. With 2 on and 2 out. Ball 1.
Billingsley, he's just a tough guy to pull. If you're hitting right-handed, and you're really better off thinking right side.
We've seen Susac do that. It's a curve in the dirt. The runners take off. Belt will be safe. That was a great save by Franco. Otherwise, maybe Belt pops up and comes in to score.
Well, it would have been interesting. Galvis, the shortstop, was back at the play up, but you're right. It was a nice play from Franco. Belt, no hesitation. Rupp gets out of that squat position pretty quick. I thought it was going to be close, but he threw wide. And let's watch that play from Franco one more time. Coming across his body, high backhander, and the umpire, whoop, get me out of the way, Todd Titchener.
It's a good effort by Todd. 2-2. Susac to center field, pretty well hit. Revere going back, still going back, and it's gone. What a shot from Susac. 3-run homer, 4-0 Giants. That's power.
That is power indeed, and he does it in a 2-strike, 2-out count. It's a breaking ball that has a little bit of hang on it. He gets underneath it, gets backspin. That's a hanging slider, folks. And we've seen Carey to center field this whole series. That was a big boy.
Heston swings and misses for strike 1.
I think those are two things that really give you an idea. A guy's got power. Be able to do it in 2 strikes and be able to take on center field.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
It'll make you smile in the dugout, that's for sure.
3rd home run of the year for Susac. There's a half swing and a miss.
But I do believe the key is not trying to pull Billingsley. I mean, he squares it up, thinks the middle of the field, and makes him pay. The 2nd 3-run homer of the year for the Giants.
They have 5 grand slams. They've only hit 2. That's now 2 3-run homers all year.
That's such an odd stat.
I don't know if it means anything, but 2-2. Ball 3 to Heston.
Heston will put up a good at bat. He can hit.
He can. I think he's got Bumgarner a little nervous. His title of best hitting pitcher. Strike 3 swinging for Heston. And that's it for the Giants. But a big inning on what's been a big weekend. Posey up the middle. Pence with a line drive. Crawford knocked in a run. And then Susac with his power made it a big inning. 4-0 Giants.
champions. Even when they get down, they continue to fight. It's a battle for 27 outs, and we came up at the wrong end. And that's our Geico quote.
Well, it was a tough loss for the Phillies, and they've had a lot of losses this year, but Ryan Howard and a lot of these guys, they're proud players, been a part of winning teams. They're not enjoying the way this season's going.
And I think it's especially tough from the old guard, the guys who have been with the Phillies a long time, went through the good times.
They had some good times.
Oh, did they ever? A decade. And the centerpiece of those good times is in the batter's box right now. Ryan Howard, one of the classy guys in this league.
Howard, Utley, Rollins, that trio. And then there were other guys along the way. They had Shane Victorino out in the outfield playing at a high level and all the great pitching they had, but those three infielders were the centerpiece of the best team in the National League over about a decade. I mean, they just year after year, the Phillies were getting it done.
Well, and they did it in a very classy fashion, too. I mean, not anybody who has played against those guys this last 10, 12 years, it doesn't have the ultimate respect for them, the way they played the game.
Little check swing foul from Howard.
And that's why, the Phillies, when you've been good for a long time, you're kind of penalized by it. You don't get high draft picks. You have to overpay basically for the success that you have, and sometimes contracts will exceed a player's effectiveness as on the field, and it kind of sets you back as an organization. You don't want to get rid of fan favorites. I mean, so you hang them, you keep them around for a couple extra 2-3 years longer than they should. They're paying for that now.
2-2, strike three call. Great sinker from Heston.
Front door. That was nasty.
One out, bases empty. Giants fans, did you know the StubHub app is personalized just for you? The StubHub app, you can select your favorite teams and artists and discover new ones too. Start at StubHub. Let the fun find you. Official fan-to-fan marketplace of the Giants. I'm with you, though. It is not easy to sustain success at that level for all those reasons that you're talking about. And, the Giants, this Giants run is, we're 6 years into it. Maybe you could stretch it out and say 7 years of really high-level Giants baseball. But I think it is a credit to the Giants that they are finding ways to sustain their success and finding new pieces like Heston, like Matt Duffy, the young players we've seen come up these last couple years. Even as they've lost some of the old standbys. Strike two with the curve.
Well, they've had some really nice surprises, and you mentioned Heston. He's definitely one that has been a huge shot in the arm for this franchise. Front door again.
Yeah. Those are two really great pitches from Heston. It has been they made the playoffs, and they were good even before 2007, but those are their peak 5 years, 07 through 11. Won a World Series in 2008. Last couple of years tough, and this year much tougher even. That one top foul for strike one. And this is a guy, I think in a way, these last few years, Dominic Brown, they thought this guy was going to be a star, cornerstone type player, and he struggled. So it's not only been about their stars getting older. Some of these young guys that they were really counting on, like Dominic Brown, haven't quite done what they thought they'd do. Ball three to Dominic Brown.
Yeah, Dominic Brown, 27 home runs, 83 RBIs. They're thinking this guy's set.
That was 2 years ago. 3-1 pitch. He just squibs one to third. Duffy throws him out. How about that inning from Heston? After the Giants give him 4 runs, he retires the Phillies in order.
Brought to you by the new movie Southpaw, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, in theaters everywhere July 24th.
A 4-run fourth inning. The Giants have a 4-0 lead on this gorgeous Sunday in San Francisco. Bottom of the fifth, top of the order against the starter. Billingsley still in for the Phillies. Dave Fleming, my crew coach, Wayne Kuiper over on the radio side of our broadcast for the middle innings. First pitch curve to Pagan for ball one. Now, would you agree with me that maybe the All-Star break the Giants are hoping will benefit this guy more than anybody else?
Well, he definitely needs some rest. He's got some dings. I mean, we saw him a couple weeks ago dive and jam his knee into the ground. It sort of stuck in a big divot out in the outfield, but it bothered him. It jarred his hip, his back. And, because of what happened to him last year and he missed so much time, Pagan wants to play, and he's playing through some dings. And he does need some rest. I think he will benefit. But we're starting to see him swing the bat now, especially from the left side, like we're familiar with him swinging it. He had an at-bat the other night in this series where he backspin the ball through the left center field gap left-handed, and that's what they've been waiting for.
Gosh, his double last night was such a big moment in the game.
It was the at-bat of the game. Giants were down 4-1 with 2 men on, 2 outs, 2 strikes, and he hits a bullet down the right field line to bring him within 1 of the Phils. And that was the one swing of the bat that gave the dugout a huge shot in the arm.
Well, Pagan can't believe that last pitch was called a strike. He thought it was 3-1, but it's 2-2, and he lines one into right center field anyway. Base hit. Well, this is the one we were talking about. Giants were still down at this point, 4-1.
He wasn't a hanger either. He went down and got it. He dug it out. Giants catch a break here as that ball bounced over the head of Francoeur. And Blanco scored all the way from first base. But that was the one that set the alarm clock off in the Giants dugout.
Bats woke up after that one. They ended up scoring more runs in that inning. Took the lead and never looked back. Panik takes a strike. Panik's hit the ball hard twice today, but is 0 for 2. Two hopper to Howard. They'll get 1. They will not get 2.
Take a look at the view you see from our splash cam up in right field. Just a spectacular look of the Bay Area on a Chamber of Commerce day. Always something going on in the Cove.
That's the best camera position in the big leagues.
It's a good one.
You can see a giant body of water, and you see stuff like that.
Seriously, he made that in his garage.
Yeah, he did. Let's see. I got this canoe. There's some wheels here. Duffy back up the middle. And that will be a double play. So the Phillies turn 1. Giants are retired. Keep paddling. On to the 6th inning. We'll paddle our way there. 4-0 Giants.
Together, building a better California.
4-0 Giants. Looking across the garden in center field, right where Andrew Susac hit his 3-run homer, which has been the big swing of the bat today. Phillies have the bottom part of the order. There it is. It was a Hunter Pence kind of home run. Susac aiming for the kale. Galvis. Good change up there for strike one swinging.
Swing and miss pitch. I mean, you know, he's got two types of breaking balls, but neither one of them is really a true kill pitch. And I think the development of this changeup is going to allow him to have that with the changeup like this, especially the lefties. A swing and miss kill pitch where you can get strikeouts. And this is a pitch he didn't really have at the beginning of this year. He's learned it here, he's applying it here, and he's really getting some confidence because of it.
1-2. He threw it again and struck him out swinging. Wow. That was impressive. Back to Amy G. Amy?
All right, gentlemen, a really fun moment for fans prior to today's game as they got to look at 3 of the Giants' 4 All-Stars. It is our Ford Right choice this afternoon. Madison Bumgarner, Joe Panik, Brandon Crawford, all receiving their NL All-Star jerseys. They will wear it proudly. Buster was getting prepped for the game, so we missed him out on the field, but these guys are very excited to head to Cincinnati. The game will be on Tuesday night, and we wish them all the luck in the world. Our Ford Right choice.
All right, thanks, Amy. And I do have to say, as much as those guys are going to be proud to put that uniform on, all 3 of them look better in orange and black than they do in red.
Hey.
Let me just point that out. Cameron Rupp takes ball 1.
I don't know why it has happened, but it just seems like every year you see these All-Star jerseys and they're tired.
Yeah, they really just not good.
But the emotion that is going to be in Cincinnati this whole week is going to be real, and it's going to be genuine, and it's going to be fun. And especially for the guys who are going for the first time. Yeah, that little guy, he'll be watching on Tuesday.
Just missing with the fastball.
He thought he had it.
Well, I've already ordered my father-in-law that we're going to do a big barbecue, be ready to go so we can watch the introductions, which I love the introductions.
Yeah, they're really fun.
That one hit to left center field. Pretty well hit. Pagan still going back, and he makes a catch.
Chad Billingsley only has 1 hit this year, but that 1 hit is a home run. I mean, he has power. The fact that this is Cameron Rupp, the catcher, who looks a lot like Chad Billingsley, mind you.
He does.
He too has 1 home run this year. Would have picked me up there, partner.
Yep.
Nevertheless, high backhander, good play from Pagan.
Oh, awesome play. Here's the guy who's got all that power.
Is he not built like a catcher?
He looks like Cameron Rupp. Come on. He's gotten a little bigger. I mean, I'm not saying that as a criticism, but he was always a big, strong guy on the mound. Oh-2. Strike 3 called. Chris Heston, another 1-2-3 inning. He's retired 7 in a row. Posey will lead off in the bottom of the 6th.
Insurance. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit HEFINS.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
4-0 Giants on this beautiful Sunday in the Bay Area. We're at AT&T Park. Giants Phillies. Giants trying to sweep this 3-game series before the All-Star break. And in pretty good shape to do it. Going to the bottom of the 6th with Posey, Pence, and Belt coming up. This has been the action part of the order for the Giants today. Posey's 2 for 2. His single got the 4-run rally started in the 4th.
Posey, don't panic. Just build it over the Pence. Okay.
Curve for ball 1.
But, you know, when you lose a player like Hunter Pence, who is a big part of your offense for a long time, and for Pence today, and this is his 23rd game that he's played in, and for the Giants, this is their 89th game. So he missed a large chunk of this season, and for a lot of that chunk that he missed, it's just kind of like keep your head above water, don't have a wreck. And when he came back off the disabled list, they were right at 500. They had been sputtering, and they kind of basically fell back from what at one time was a 10-game above 500 point to get to 500. But they needed a series where their offense woke up, and this is what has happened in the series. And especially important was the fact that they did it against an ace on Friday night's game against Cole Hamels.
Buster, base hit. He's 3 for 3.
Time now for our Solar Company electrifying play of the first half. And Hunter Pence, who's coming up right now, came up with the most remarkable play when you combine the catch and the throw and the importance. And everybody in the ballpark absolutely ignited when he nailed Curtis Granderson of the Mets. And that's our Solar Company electrifying play of the first half.
Hard to describe how good that was.
Oh.
God.
Well, he said, you know, I didn't have anything to lose. There was no other back runner. I mean, it was all or nothing. I didn't have to worry about a cutoff man or anything. And what a strike he threw. And for Andrew Susak, who was on the backside of that, making the catch and the swipe tag, absolute perfection at the big league level.
I love watching. I could watch that all day long. Now Pence, who's 1 for 2. You know, it is funny, too, because we were talking to Pence the other day and basically saying, oh, you know, you're the one guy who doesn't want the All-Star break. You're just getting it going. And he was actually, he said, you know what, it'll help me because still not 100%. It'll be good to rest that after pushing it here for a week or so. The sort of the sore area in that left wrist, forearm. So he had a good attitude about it. Not like he's going to sit on the couch for 4 days. That's not what he does.
No, he definitely would charge life. I mean, he'll always have something going on.
Diekman, the left-hander, is going to start to get going in the bullpen. But Pence, who's so gung-ho, he just wants to, you know, he does not want to sit around. He wants to be back in there now. Strike 2 swinging.
Hunter Pence, most home runs against opponents, and he has done the most damage against the Phillies and the Reds.
I mean, by far, though, look at those games played against the Phillies.
41 games, 16 home runs.
That's a lot. You got a piece of that one.
And a grand slam the first night of this series on Friday.
I'm just going to make he's going to be the first right-handed hitter to have a splash hit before he's done.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good call. It's never been done.
In the dirt with a curve.
Well, let's take a look at that swing of the bat on Friday night. Cole Hamels fastball, not a hanger either. I mean, it was mid-thigh, but it was on the corner away. And Pence, who had been hitting batting practice to right field the whole day, took that swing and he nails a grand slam to right field.
1-2. Stays alive with another foul. All right, so in this park, not a lot of them in that direction.
One.
There's the one. But he can do it. We saw that with that swing the other night. Right back off of Billingsley. That's going to be a hit for Pence. Buster went into a slide thinking that maybe Billingsley was going to have a play at second. Second hit of the day for Pence.
Not sure if it hits the glove or it does. Just a little backhanded swipe of Billingsley, and he deflects the ball. I don't know if anybody would have had a chance to get it as hard as it was hit anyway, but still. And that's going to be it as Pete McCannon comes out.
So 2 on, nobody out with the 2 left-handers coming up. The Phillies are going to the bullpen to bring in Diekman, the left-hander. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts will be back. Warriors and Hawks today at 5:30. Tomorrow they'll take on the Kings at 3:30 on CSN Bay Area. Already getting ready for 2015-2016.
Not much of a vacation.
Although let's just say this, it ain't Steph Curry and Klay Thompson who are lacing it up in Vegas, which is fine. You watch some of the young guys. I can't say I'm totally up on who's playing for the Warriors in the summer league. Here's Diekman in the game.
37th time he's come in. Got a good fastball, mid to high 90s with the fastball.
Belt, first pitch swing and a bullet on one hop that the Phillies will turn into 2 outs. Wow. Gosh, Belt just smoked that one. It's a double play.
Well, we know that Brandon Belt can be streaky, and he's in the midst of a really nice hot streak. And this is just unfortunate in that he hits it right at Hernandez, that somehow manages to get a body in front of that top spin 1-hop bullet, and in the end it winds up being a double play. And they're going to take a look at so Hernandez, the second baseman, got hit in the fingertip. Yeah. I mean, that really exploded on him, and as hard as that ball was hit, he may have taken a nail off.
Hey. That's going to require a little attention. Phillies bullpen has not exactly been lights out in this series. Coming into this one, 7 2/3 innings, 18 hits allowed, 13 earned runs allowed.
Well, and that was unusual because coming into this series, they had the same identical staff ERA in the bullpen as the Giants, 3.65. And the real Achilles heel on the staff has been the starting staff. Their collective ERA, the Phillies starters, coming into this ball game, 5.42, and that puts them at the bottom of the National League. See how the ball came up on Hernandez. Little tape, we're good.
The Phillies starters almost a half a run worse than the Rockies starters who pitch their home games at Coors Field.
Well, and the problem with that is when your starting staff's getting banged around, that means you're going to have a lot of innings eaten up by the bullpen, and sooner or later, even a great bullpen is going to pay for it. You just can't eat that many innings up as a bullpen.
2 down runner at third. Posey the only one left out there after the well-turned double play. Another chance for Crawford to knock in a run. That slider misses in. He did it his last time up. Base hit up the middle against Billingsley. 10 more hits already today for the Giants. Good slider there.
He's got a good slider. Another RBI opportunity. Let's see what Brandon Crawford has done against lefties. 2013, 199, 320 last year. Backed it up with a 323 this year.
With swings not like that one most of the time.
And what really has been the difference as to why he's been so successful is that he's using the left side of the field. A lot of balls have gone the opposite way in this direction against lefties. And now this year he's applying that same approach to a lot of righties as well. And you can see the way the Phillies and a lot of teams play him straight up because of that.
Takes that slider, 2-2.
Not really the type of hitter you can cheat your defense on and stack them up on one side. He uses the whole field.
2-2 pitch. He got him to chase there in the dirt. Rupp will throw to first for the putout, and that's it. The Giants do not score. Kipe will come back and join Mike here on the TV side to take you the rest of the way. Giants 4, Phillies nothing.
The Phillies, no runs on 4 hits, no errors. The Giants, 4 runs on 10 hits, no errors. Chris Heston has been masterful, just 4 hits through 6. He has struck out 6. Andrew Susac, the big swing of the bat, a 3-run homer. It is 4-0 Giants. We're in the top of the 7th inning, and here again is Dwayne Kuiper.
All right, good to be back. Here's Ben Revere. And a strike to Ben Revere. Heston's been pretty good at first pitch strikes. Gregor Blanco now in left field is Belt. Take the rest of the day off. Tap to Crawford. Crawford knows he's got to hurry. Got him. Not a whole lot of margin for error with Ben Revere running down the line.
He does not give you that margin, indeed.
So here's Cesar Hernandez over on the radio side. I saw you guys get a good shot of him getting clipped on that ground ball. And there's a breaking ball high. And remember, we had an instructor my very first year in the Indians organization. He got to spring training and he got all the infielders together and he said, either bite your nails or cut your nails, and I will check tomorrow morning. And I was like, what? He wants me to bite my nails? I've been taught my whole life, don't bite your nails. There's a strike to Hernandez, and the reason for it is if they're a little long, you can get clipped by those ground balls. And then it just pulls the nail back, and that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's torturous.
Swing and a miss. He got him.
That's a good breaking ball right there. And for Heston, that's 7 strikeouts. Nice little curveball. Follows it up after a changeup. And Hernandez going right over the top of him. You can't put it in a better spot when you're heading to count 1-2. Right below the strike zone. Let him chase.
So here's Michael Franco. If you start talking about first half surprises for the Giants, pitching wise it has to be Heston, hitting wise it has to be Duffy. I mean, think about where would this team be without those two guys.
Well, you're right. I mean, you're talking about Duffy filling a hole. And he didn't even start. He wasn't even close to being a starting player at the start of the year.
He was not.
Casey McGee was a starting third baseman, and it wasn't until about a month into the season, or maybe even more, that Duffy started getting some pretty solid playing time. And look at this: 41 at bats. It ranks him second in the league with RBIs from a third baseman, and that's remarkable.
It's fantastic.
It's Rick Bellison, our ball dude at third on the third baseline.
Ground ball up the middle, and that'll be a base hit.
But in regards to Heston, the other guy didn't get a lot of fanfare. I mean, he had one really great outing in spring training against the Dodgers, against their A team, against Zach Greinke, and it really put him on the map.
Well, if you remember that game too, Mike, things started to implode in the first inning. I think there was an error, and all of a sudden it was 3-0.
And he pitched through trouble to limit it to 3, and then that was it. Through 6 innings, he didn't give up anything else. And everybody started talking about this guy. Lo and behold, Kane goes down, and he gets an opportunity in the first series of the year against Arizona, and he's been in the rotation ever since.
Howard takes wide, 1 ball and no strikes.
So I 100% agree that the two surprises have been Duffy and Heston.
I mean, that's obviously not to mention the great year Crawford's having, or Buster, but when it comes to filling needs on a team that fully expects to contend, you get 2 young players that come through the first half. 1 ball and 1 strike to Howard. Howard's 0 for 2. Breaking ball wide, 2 balls and 1 strike. The other thing too, you know, you forget that Giants signed Casey McGee. Didn't work out. Pablo Sandoval goes someplace else. 2-2. How are you going to replace the RBIs that Pablo Sandoval had? Well, Duffy's on his way.
Well, he's done it. I mean, Sandoval coming into today's ball game had 29 RBIs. Duffy with 41. And both guys, well, Duffy's hit 8 home runs. Sandoval's hit 7.
2-2 pitch. Howard takes a breaking ball in the dirt. 3-2. Well, Heston does not want to walk Howard. He didn't want to have it hit it in the water either, but Cody Ashley's done some damage in this series, so I would assume that Howard may not get the pitch he wants, but it's going to be something in the strike zone.
When you take advantage of your 4-0 lead.
Runner goes, and he popped him up, and it's a hop up. And nobody wants this one, and it's going to fall. So kind of in no man's land. Pagan was playing deep. Blanco thought somebody else was going to get it. Coming in to score is Franco all the way from first, and it's 4-1. I mean, from up here you could see what was happening.
And it was way up there, and it starts to drift, and you could see the depth of the outfielders coming in, and it was going to be Duffy and nobody else. And the Phillies catch a break, and just like that, Josh Osich gets up in the Giants bullpen and starts throwing.
Another thing too, Howard's got to be on second. He's got to be on second.
Halfway to third.
So here's Cody Ashe. Ashe into the gap. And now Pence has got to try to get to it to keep Howard from scoring. They're going to wave Howard in. No, now they put on the brakes. And it's cut off by Buster Posey. Nice job defensively for the Giants.
No, you're right. Cutting that ball off from Pence's perspective, then getting it to Crawford, who once he got loaded, I mean, he was armed for bear with the relay throw. But how important was it now that Howard did not get the second on the pop-up? Right there. And Howard coming around third base, I mean, he puts the stop sign on him, and he almost goes through both knees.
He was hustling then. And here comes Bruce Bochy. So Heston's going to depart with 78 pitches. And the crowd here is going to give him a great ovation.
And what a great first half he's had.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and brake experts. We'll be back. Some noise. It's Osich into pitch. It's Francoeur into hit. So there's Osich.
Sixth game that he's come into. He got his first win in this series. 4 innings pitch. He's not given up a hit. A couple walks, couple strikeouts. When you take your at-bats against him, you're going to see a fastball that goes mid to high 90s. It's got a good hard cutter that he'll throw in the low 90s and a changeup. And he's throwing with a lot of confidence. Heston outstanding today. 7 hits allowed, 1 run in. He is responsible for those 2 runners on base that Osich inherits. No walks, 7 strikeouts. And boy, he had a nice ovation.
So Francoeur is going to sit on a fastball right here.
And he loves the first pitch.
Well, we weren't lying, were we? It's no balls and 1 strike.
As advertised.
I mean, if you're Osich, you're thinking, all right, well, look, maybe that wasn't my best fastball, but it still wasn't too bad.
And he pulls it.
It's 0-1 to Francoeur.
He's got plenty of power, but he will chase.
Up high, it's a ball and a strike. So Osich ready to go again. And there's what Mike's talking about as he chases that off-speed pitch in the dirt, 1-2.
Well, and you could go right back down there again. You could run a fastball above the strike zone. I mean, he's gonna swing.
Yeah, he doesn't want to walk. He's a hero hitter.
Foul ball hit him right on the top of the right foot, his back foot.
Got him. 95 above the belt, and that'll end the inning. The damage, 1 run. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
Luis Garcia, the new pitcher now for the Phillies. 41st game that he's come into. 37 strikeouts in 39 2/3. Another hard thrower. Did the high 90s with the fastball and a hard slider. Pretty much go get him. Doesn't really have a soft pitch, a changeup, or a curveball. Let's go back and take a look at the out that ended it for the Phillies. The pitch sequence from Osich, little cutter on the hands. He laced it foul. Then he goes away with the fastball. Back foot breaking ball. Boom. And there's the second strike. And then he just goes country hard right through him. And Osich gets the strikeout, and the Philly threat is ended. And right there to greet him as he comes off the field, Chris Heston. And he meant that high five.
Yes, he did. Osich is going to get a chance to hit. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, his first big look at bat.
Francoeur chasing a tennis ball. He's now in right field. Susak, the big hit in this game. He hit a home run to center field. Good breaking ball. No balls and 1 strike. Osich on deck. Susak gets another breaking ball. This one misses. Topper off of Garcia. He can't find it. To throw to first from Franco, and Susak is retired. And I don't know where that hit Garcia. Hit him maybe in the glove hand.
Maybe in the wrist. It's a stinger right now. But you never know. As hard as that baseball is, if it gets you in the right spot, it can break your hand. I think it got him right below the heel of the glove on the wrist. And that's a stinger. That just needs, you just need a little time from this one.
By the way, Bruce Bochy's looking at the play. And maybe they're not looking at it anymore, but they were for a while.
So in the end, Garcia gets an assist. It goes 1-5-3. And for Susak, that's a big hang with him. Not the right hand is the problem. It's the glove hand. We're good.
So here's Osich. With the amount of injuries that Osich has had over his minor league career, lifetime, maybe you won't see him swing at all.
Well, I think you're right. I think that's exactly. Here's your first big league at bat, and you're not allowed to take a swing. And we really think that that may have been what was told him as he left the Giants dugout. He's just too valuable in the bullpen right now to risk an injury swinging the bat, and it's only because of his history.
I'll tell you what a good eye.
Yeah.
2 balls and 1 strike.
Just get up there and look scary.
Or just do the crouch thing. Do the Pete Rose. Get small. Got him. All right, let's check in with happy news. Amy G.
I do have happy news, and it's for the fans because they have a chance to get on our broadcast. It's our call to action. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. We want to see your best and strongest fan photos at the park. We're going to start airing them after the All-Star break. If you're wondering what we're doing with all these photos coming in, you need to tweet us at #CSNBA Data Strong Fan. One more time, #CSNBA Data Strong Fan on Twitter. We want to see what you got. Dwayne?
Yeah, we want to see what you got. Here's Pagan with 2 outs. Pagan is 2 for 3, and he's 3 for 4. He lines it into left field.
Well, and the concern you had perhaps about his left-handed swing, don't worry about it.
Not so much anymore.
He's got it back. You'll watch the swing of the bat. Watch how his head stays on the ball. I mean, he really stays down nice through the swing. It really illustrates the most important thing. Keep your eye on the ball. Just let it travel, let it get deep to you. Take it the other way.
So here's Panic. Panic takes one in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch is high. I was listening to the Rockies broadcast the other day, and they were talking about LaTroy Hawkins taking in at bat, and he wasn't going to swing. And his old teammate was catching, A.J. Przinsky. And you know Przinsky can talk. Just ragging on him about not going to swing. Here's the pitch. Out of play. And he got him to swing. And, you know, Hawkins was saying, I'm not going to swing because, look, I'm 42. I'm going to get hurt. And Przinsky ragged on him so hard, he got him to foul the pitch off. And then he struck out.
Swinging.
Oh, I'm not sure if he struck out swinging or looking. But the whole point is a catcher, as this is flipped into left field, and diving and catching is Ashe, and that's going to end the inning. But A.J. got his old teammate to at least take a hack.
Guilted him
in it. 4-1 Giants as we head to the 8th. Clayton Kershaw gone. First home run by a pitcher off of Clayton Kershaw ever. And the Giants went on to win the game. Osich back out on the mound. Here he's facing Freddie Galvis. Galvis, Rupp, and then Garcia. The pitch. Susac will come back, shade his eyes. Souvenir.
Galvis now waiting around, jumping on that first pitch.
See a lot of that lately.
When we first saw Osich at the big league level, it was in the series on the road when the Giants were taking on the Nationals, and came in back-to-back games and pitched well. Both times he had to get Bryce Harper out, and he did. And we asked him about it after the game, and he just said basically, he's another hitter. And we kind of looked at each other and smiled. And yeah, okay.
Yep.
Nice.
I think you go to the page that says, all right, this is kind of what I'm supposed to say page. And that's what you do when you're a rook.
But he keeps it simple. And the one thing that he does so well is he commits to a pitch. I mean, he doesn't even see who's in that batter's box. He's just trying to throw it right through Andrew Susak, his catcher, or whoever it is that's in the squad that particular day.
And the 0-2, swinging a fly ball to right. Pence over, and Pence is going to make the catch. Kind of like the conversation that Crash Davis had with Nuke Lelouch, and this is what you need to say.
It works.
Kind of on the bus. Good flick.
Great flick.
Not so far from being the truth.
Bull Durham, a lot of things in that movie were the absolute Bible in regards to truth.
Here's Rupp. Yeah, that was a 1988 movie. My goodness.
I could watch it tomorrow.
Breaking ball in the dirt. Remember, I think our son was just a year old. We got a babysitter to go see the movie. My wife is like, wait a minute. It's during the season, and we're going to go see a baseball movie.
Well, that's a good point.
We're going to pay for a babysitter, and we're going to go see. She said, well, what's it about? I said, well, it's about, a minor league team. And so if we're not even going to see a movie about a big league team, it's about a minor league team. And I remember it was fabulous, and she loved it. High, 1-2. In those days, anything to get out of the apartment, right?
Oh, yeah. When you have a little one.
You love your kid, but anything to get out at night, you need a reason. Foul straight back on a high fastball.
96-mile-an-hour fastball. And you see a lot of guys swinging at that high fastball for Mosich. It's one you see, and you just can't quite get your top hand on it when he comes across the letters with it. It's a good strikeout pitch.
And he just stays alive. This time he got a piece again. It stays at 1-2. Stay tuned for the post-game wrap. That's going to happen after the game. And Mike will also talk about this game with Murph and Mac tomorrow morning on KMBR 680. One ball, 2 strikes. Got him. Finally got him.
91-mile-an-hour cutter. Just lowered it down below the strike zone, and he got Rupp to chase. That is the 9th Philly that the Giants pitching has struck out today.
See if Osich, Mike, thought that this was 3 outs.
It's like strike 3.
I don't know if he. I'm not sure. I can't read his mind. You tell me.
Right. Yeah, we're good, and maybe there's another out. Okay. Brooks.
Pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes. Darren Ruff. Ruff fouls it out of play.
Darren Ruff's a big guy. 6'3", 250. And his BP is interesting. He can hit him far.
On the ground, foul. Knocked down by Mark Gardner. There's our guy.
Yeah, Rick Bellison.
Oh, Rick, come on, come on, come on. Rick's got happy feet, man. Look at him.
He does.
Get those size 7s moving.
Yep, and that's how he gets the paper every morning. Happy feet.
Low, 2-2. To pitch, here it is to Darren Ruff, and he hooks this one foul. That's the one where you really do have to protect that bullpen catcher. I think is it Eli catching?
It is Eli Whiteside. And Tyra Uematsu is in charge of protection, and Eli's going, nice play, Tyra. Seriously, kill him the drill here.
Tyra said, I had you all the way.
Now, he is wearing him out. With a smile.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Foul back. So Ruff and Osich with a really good battle going on right now.
Get next to this guy. I mean, he fills out a uni. He's a strong-chested reliever. I mean, he's a big fella. Not many guys are going to charge this guy. From Boise, Idaho.
So it's 3-2. Ben Revere's on deck. High to left. Side retired. Battle won by Osich. Duffy, Posey, Pence coming up. It's a 4-1 lead for the Giants. And the new pitcher for the Phillies is Ken Giles, and it's time for a change. Thanks Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
Ken Giles, the numbers through 39 games, 3-2 with a 1.91 ERA, 46 strikeouts and 37 2/3. He got great stuff. mid to high 90s with the fastball velocity and just a power strikeout, swing and miss curve or slider. It's a good one, and a high 3/4 release. And that explains why he has such great tilt with his slider, because of that high 3/4. He is the heir apparent should Jonathan Papelbon, the closer of the Phillies, get traded. Giles would be the new closer.
Yeah, I think he thinks he's obviously ready for it.
Yeah, he is.
And that last fastball was at 97.
You know, and he's got some attitude. I mean, he definitely will come at you, put the pressure on you.
1-2 as Duffy sees a first off-speed pitch. Giants 4, Phillies 1. Giants go to all of their runs in the 4th inning. Crawford a base hit to knock in a run, and then Susac a home run, a 3-run home run. In the dirt, a scud. It's 2-2.
There's Jonathan Papelbon, has not appeared in this series.
Swing and a miss. He got him. So Duffy out swinging. He's 0 for 4 today. Here's a guy that is 3 for 3 today, and that's Buster Posey. Hunter Pence on deck. One ball and no strikes. Out of play. Good swing by Buster Posey. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Santiago Casilla finishing off his warm-up tosses. He will pitch the 9th inning.
Very high, 98 to Posey. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Bit of an overthrow. Time you see a guy go that high out of the strike zone that throws hard, it's usually because he's trying to overthrow the fastball.
Two and 2. Bat gets away from Buster Posey. It gives you a good idea what Buster does. He really throws that barrel out.
That is not a good feeling, though, when you have one leave your hand like that. Because one hand will get overloaded, and it will not be pleasant.
Posey swings at a pitch in the dirt, and he is out. So Giles strikes out 2 with Pence coming up. Well, stay tuned immediately after Giants baseball for Esurance Giants post-game live. Highlights, reaction, analysis, it's all coming up right after the game. Here's Pence. Pence 2 for 3. One ball and no strikes. Breaking ball. He's a pretty good breaking ball too, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, he really does, and it's a straight downer. I mean, and it's a hard one. And you get that kind of tilt when you have that high 3/4 release. Back again, overthrow. The downside of having a high 3/4 release is that you get a little bit straighter fastball. You don't get quite the movement that you would get from a 3/4 or a low 3/4 release.
Pence, 2-2.
Just a straight challenge at 97.
Full count.
Get a young pitcher coming out of the minor leagues, and he's got a high three-quarter release, and he has a straight fastball. You can teach movement, different grips and different positionings with the thumb, which gives you different finger pressures.
Pence chases the high fastball, and that's going to end the inning. Giles strikes out the side. Ninth inning coming up. It's 4-1 Giants. Support of the stretch drive. We're pleased to report that our total through the end of the Giants game here is $377,000. It's not too late to donate. You can still show your support online. Visit jrgiants.org. The kids in our Junior Giants baseball program, and we thank you. And it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
See the numbers for Santiago Casilla? This is a save situation. He has 22 on the year. And with Casilla, two types of fastballs. He'll go low to mid-90s with velocity, curveball, cutter, and a changeup.
And a strike to Ben Revere, who's 1 for 3 in this afternoon's action. So it's a ball and a strike to Ben Revere, single to open up the game off of Heston. And he bounces this one off the glove of Casilla, and that's going to be an infield hit for Ben Revere. Don't forget to check out Sportsnet Central tonight after Giants postgame live right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. So an infield hit for Ben Revere, and here's Cesar Hernandez.
The thing about Ben Revere, if there's a bobble or if there's anything that is weird on a ground ball, you're not going to get a second chance. He just runs too fast.
So Hernandez takes a strike.
So the concentration should be to the hitter.
Crawford, panic, double play depth. Out of play down the left field line, 0-2. Pagan shading Hernandez towards left center field. Not by a lot. Blanco towards the line and left. Pence out towards Triple's alley. Michael Franco's on deck. Got him.
Good curveball.
Haven't seen it until just then. 1 out, and here's Franco.
It's always nice when you can save it for a little 2-strike surprise. They don't have a lot of history. Drop that thing right at the lower part of the strike zone and let it fall right out into the dirt. Cannot throw a better one than that.
So here's Michael Franco, who's 1 for 3. He singled in the 7th inning, scored the only Phillies run. And he takes a strike. So Casilla pours in a strike, and it's 0-1. Tapped, foul. It's now 0-2. So Casilla jumps out in front, 0-2. And the pitch. Got him.
And a 2-strike surprise with the curveball again. He knows he's got a good curveball. Saving it for that 2-strike count, and 2 times it's paid off for him. Just try and bounce it on home plate. And that's pretty close to perfect right there. And for an aggressive hitter like Franco, who they know is aggressive, cannot lay off.
Runner goes, and Howard takes a breaking ball for a strike.
Susak's coming out for one reason, just to go over what the signs are with the runner at second base. This will be quick. First sign after 2, go get him. Or something like that.
The pitch, Howard takes wide, 1 ball and 1 strike. Howard knocked in a run with a pop-up that fell into left field in the 7th inning. Really should have gotten Heston out of the inning, but it was one of those pop-ups that looked like it was hit in the perfect spot. Runner's going to go, and nobody cares. So at third now is Revere.
It's got to be a bit of a weird feeling, though, for Revere. Going from second to third, nobody's there at third, and just kind of, well, what am I doing out here?
Out of play, and it's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Driven to right. Pence coming in. Pence is going to slide. It's a trap. Coming in to score is Revere. It's a base hit for Howard. He picks up his second RBI. And Cody Ash is going to hit, and he's going to be the tying run coming up to the plate.
Just a short hop into the glove. Pence reaching out with a backhand, rolls it over and comes up trying to sell it, but to no avail. Now you've got a guy who's got power and has seen the bat ball pretty well right now, stepping in that batter's box with Ashe.
Curveball is down low. They're going to say Ashe went around, and it's 0-1. It would be Todd Tishner, the third base umpire. It's no balls and 1 strike. On the ground, no, it's not. It's a line drive at Panic, and that's the ball game. So the Giants do what they had to do, given what's going on with the Phillies. They sweep.